Hello, it is February 3rd, 2017.
We
are just
want to take you to Great Britain and more specifically into the EU, where Nigel Farage shall entertain us for a moment.
This is the redistricts of the rich and famous.
Parliament is debating the travel restrictions imposed by US President Donald Trump. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini made a statement at the opening of the debate.
No one can be deprived of his or her own rights because of their place of birth, their religion, or their ethnicity. This is written in our constitutions, both in Europe and in America. This is who we are, this is our identity, this is something we cannot forget. Our European history has taught us to celebrate when a wall is torn down and a bridge is built. We learned from our own great but also tragic history that every human being is first and foremost a person with fundamental rights that cannot be put into question.
Well, in the past few minutes, UKIP former leader Nigel Farage has defended Donald Trump's travel restrictions and accused the EU of being anti-American.
So basically, there's a lot of European leaders who are upset with Donald Trump. They have opened up their borders. If you don't know much about the EU, they came together, 28 nations, and basically they're run by
world order
kings, and they pretend to have, they've got all these little seats with all these little representatives from other little countries, but then they got the little panel up here, and they're able to make laws. And Nigel Farage is this dude in Britain, and he's very much
None of them are elected.
None of them are elected, right? So, and he points this out, and
no doubt that the events in the USA over the last few weeks have been a very profound shock to you. Perhaps you're right. You see, what has happened here is somebody has stood on a manifesto for election, got into office, and within 1 week said that he will hold faith with his own electorate. It is called genuine democracy. Unlike the system we have in the European Union, where the unelected commissioners like Mogherini here have the sole right to propose legislation. So I'm sure that it's a great shock to you to see that a genuinely elected Democrat is doing what he was put in.
When he says Democrat, he means democracy.
Right.
To do. And it must be, I would think today in Washington.
Wait.
Sorry. I can't hear you, mate.
The Italian
Di
EU
questo
leader
Parlamento e delle funzioni istituzionali dei commissari. Questo lo dobbiamo non solo per il rispetto istituzionale alla Commissione, ma anche alla benevolenza della commissaria vicepresidente e alto rappresentante onorevole Mogherini. La ringrazio.
Right. And out of institutional respect, President, to the truth, perhaps you will understand and agree with me that within the European form of lawmaking, it is the unelected Commission that have the sole right to propose legislation. If I'm wrong in saying that, you can throw me out of this Parliament right here, right now, this afternoon.
Onorevole Farage, io la richiamo soltanto a un atteggiamento rispettoso.
I am just asking you to be a little bit more respectful, please.
Prego, può continuare.
You may continue.
Oh, I'll be respectful, all right, but perhaps you will be too, for the right of the leader of a political party that won the European elections in the United Kingdom in 2014.
That was him.
Now, it seems to me that actually, with all the anti-Trump rhetoric that is coming from everywhere, actually what we're hearing is the true nature of the European project, which is genuine anti-Americanism. Trump is motivated by protecting the United States of America from Islamic terrorism, whereas what has happened in this room and in governments around Europe is you have welcomed these people into your own homes. But can we please, just for a moment, look at the facts? Amongst all the hyperbole and the hysteria, all that Donald Trump has done is taken 7 countries that were identified by President Obama as posing a risk to the USA.
I love this guy.
Obama already had put in place extreme vetting. What Trump has done is for 90 days to say, let's examine that vetting and see whether it's good enough. But I want to ask you, Mr. Verhofstadt, and all the others, with your faux outrage today, where were you when Obama in 2011 banned any Iraqi from going into the country for 6 months? Why?
Sorry, I woke
Do
the
I hear
dog.
no criticism in this chamber or from the Commission of Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain and others who refuse to take a single, not one, refugee or displaced person from Syria? And how can it be? How can it be that on Holocaust Day,
Here it comes.
last Friday,
Here it comes.
not a single one of you criticised the 16 countries in the world that ban Israeli Jews from even going to their country on holiday? What is this
I have
hypocrisy?
goosebumps. All
So perhaps what we need to do, Mr. President, and through you to the members, perhaps what we need to do is to be a little bit more constructive. All of us here say we're Democrats. Well, here's a chance to prove it. Let us invite President Trump to come here to this European Parliament. I'm sure as Democrats you'd all agree that what we need to do is to have an open dialogue with the newly elected, most powerful man in the world. And if you throw that rejection back in my face, then you prove yourself to be the anti-democratic zealots that I always thought you were.
Oh my gosh, that dude is my new best friend.
I know.
I'm gonna invite him over to my house for tea.
So everyone in the UK, if somebody had posted on there, can you loan Donald Trump? And he said maybe we could do an exchange with Nigel Farage. And I,
Oh
you know,
my gosh, that guy's so awesome.
I know. So I'm going to show you another video with Nigel Farage because he's kind of on a roll. And but basically, he just lays out there to the European Union, who has become like a mob boss, and you wonder
Mafia.
why they. And I'm going to show you kind of his explanation why Britain voted to leave the European Union. It's called Brexit. Britain exit. We want to be able to elect our leaders and have our elected leaders
Right.
do their thing.
So are you going to show that video separate or right
Yes,
now? All right, cool.
separately.
We'll wrap up this one. So this is easier to share because I know y'all people are going to want to share this one. All right, so this is Leah Michelle signing off.
Share it under Nigel Farage lays down how Charles Trump's policy is not a Muslim ban.
Right. Like, subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Find us on Facebook and follow us there. And we want to hear from you. So comment and, like I said, share, and we'll see you back soon.
It's not a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy theory. If it's true, then that dude just laid the truth down like a pizza.
I was cold all alone. No place for home every day. So afraid, but you called my name.